Guys, I'm making some cough drops, ginger cough drops. Now, this is just, experiment. So I had a bag of fresh ginger that I finished. My husband peeled for me and I put it through my Vitamix with a little bit of water, and I ended up with this. Sorry, there was a call and it interrupted. So this is how the ginger looks like. And I have added 2 of these small jars into my pan with 1.5 cups of cane sugar. I went ahead and grated a whole lemon, the outside of it. I'm gonna add a stick of cinnamon, and I'm also gonna add some gin, and then I'm gonna slow cook this until it gets into that candy consistency, and then I'm gonna do little drops until when it hardens up, then I'll transfer it to little jars. Now let me turn this light off. I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna add a little bit of honey to it as well. Let me get my gin and I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, here I go. So I'm gonna add some honey. I don't really measure. I'm just gonna let me get my other, so when I'm stirring, I'll be ready. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let me use this hand so you can see better. Just put a little bit of honey here, like so. Uy, I guess about 1/2 cup that would be, or 1/4 cup. I'm gonna add a little bit of my gin. Now my gin, I've had this gin for a while and it has raisins and pieces of ginger in it. I'm gonna add some to my mix here. It's gonna take a little while for it to get to where I want it to be. So, like about that much. Not the whole thing, but there you have it. I'm going to add to it a stick. In the meantime, I'm going to crank this up. And I want it to be, I like the flavor of cinnamon. Now, you don't need to worry about the alcohol because the alcohol, sorry, I keep getting these alert messages, weather alert. So it kind of stops the recording. But I was saying that you don't need to worry about the alcohol because it's gonna cook and you're not even gonna feel it. So this is all that I'm gonna do. I kicked it on high for a little bit, and my sugar has to dissolve completely. So I'm gonna be doing this just like that. And remember, what I am attempting to do is cough drops. Okay, so that is all that I'm trying to do here. It looks like I have some pieces of ginger here that are still, which is fine with me. I don't mind. Oh, I just squirt myself. That doesn't bother me at all. But it's important that you do it slowly. You don't want it to burn. So all I'm going to do is this, and I'll bring you back in a little bit so I can show you where we're at. Okay, so I lower the heat. I put it on medium because I want it to come in a very, very slow simmer until, the sugar is dissolved, and this also will give my cinnamon a chance to really let out all its flavor into the mix here. You don't want to cook it fast. You just want it very slowly. So I'm going to leave it like this, and I'm going to start cleaning up. Let me rest my little thing here, and I'm going to start cleaning up. You see how it's boiling a little bit? I don't know if you can tell. Can you see that boil? Yes, right there. See that? Very, very little. That's what you want. You don't want it a rapid boil. A very slow, steady boil, okay? Or simmer, I should say. Alrighty. I'll bring you back in a minute. In a couple of minutes, actually. Okay, guys, so we're back. It's been about half an hour already, or a little bit over. I want to show you. You see how it's thickening up? Look. It's really thickening up. It's going to be ready when all this foam here is no longer visible. And is kind of a clear caramel color, then this will be, it'll be ready. But we'll do a little test run in water to make sure the consistency is correct. But I just want to show you what is starting to look like, okay? I'm trying to stand here because the glare won't let you see really well the color, but I'll bring you back in a little bit. I'm gonna do a little trial run, okay? I don't think it's ready yet. It's still too liquidy, but I have here some cold water and I'm just gonna drop some in. See, it's not ready because it came undone right away. See, that it broke away, so that's not ready. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. And I'm not gonna move it anymore. I'm just gonna wait it out because it's not ready yet. I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay guys, so I want you to see the consistency. See that? I'm just gonna let it to solidify a little bit before I start dropping it on my parchment paper here. So I want it to get a little bit cooler because it's still like a little bit, I think a little too much. So I'm gonna wait. And then when it gets a little bit cooler, then I'm gonna start dropping it onto my parchment paper and waiting for it to get completely cold. These are little bits of ginger that obviously I didn't blend it enough in the blender, so, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me at all. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so this is a tedious part of this whole thing. Is dropping it here, oops, you know, into little, I think I better get myself a spoon because it's gonna be really tedious job. So you see what I'm doing? And then I'm gonna allow this, let me get a little bit more here. I'm gonna allow this to dry, to get hard. I have a little piece here that, yeah, okay. It's gonna be difficult. I better get myself like a spoon because this here is gonna take me forever. So let me grab a spoon, grab 2 spoons, small one. And what I'm gonna do is, oh boy, I'm gonna try and drop it here like so. I don't want them to be that tiny, but I don't want them to be that big either. So this is gonna be, you know, trial and error. They're not all gonna be perfect. That is perfectly fine by me. Uh-oh, this one is too big. That one looks like a quarter. I have to figure out what's the right measurement for this because it's not gonna work if I don't figure it out. So I think I'm gonna go and grab a 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon and see if I get the right size that I'm looking for. Because right now, I'm not really, it's delicious though, I will say that. The other thing that I will say, you can certainly make like a syrup and put it in a mason jar also and have it that way. Add a little bit more of gin to your mason jar with it and make a syrup. And that works just as a matter of fact, I probably will do that because I tell you what, I don't see myself standing here doing this. I don't know how many I'm gonna get, quite a bit I'm sure, but man, let me grab another little teaspoon and see if that's gonna help me better because this right now doesn't seem to be working for me. So let's do, I don't know, let's do this. This is a 1/4 of a teaspoon, so let's see if this one works any better. Maybe not, maybe it's too much. I don't know, I don't know. Well, that's not bad. It's a messy job. And I'm not the most patient person. So this right here, with this little spoon, not gonna work, you guys. So I gotta try something else. I gotta figure something else that's gonna work a little bit quicker. Maybe I need this thing to dry a little bit more. I mean, get a little bit more room temperature because it's still kind of runny, but I want to send some of this to Lola, my daughter, for her birthday, so she'll have it in case, you know. There's nothing like homemade remedies. It trumps. It just beats buying store-bought stuff, because at least when you make it at home, you know exactly what you're putting in it. You know what your body is absorbing. You know what you're giving your body. And there's no hidden, there's nothing that's going to hurt you. Unless, of course, you're allergic to some of these, you know, allergic to the gin. Or if that's the case, you can leave that out. Or, you know, cinnamon. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it agrees with everyone. So that's something to keep in mind. Because we all tend to run when they say, oh, it's 100% natural, it doesn't have this. But just because it's that doesn't mean that your body will receive it well. So you see, as these little things are getting bigger and bigger, that's because I'm getting a little bit anxious. But I think what I'm going to do on the other one, honestly, I think I'm just going to go ahead and lay it on parchment, let it get hard, and then cut into crystals. I think that's what I'm going to do, because it's cute and all, but no. I think I'm going to put it in parchment paper, let it get hard, and then I'm going to come back and kind of mash it and have crystals. And I think, honestly, I think that's the way I'm going to go. Because look, do you see these up here versus these? These look like quarter size. There you go. Oh my God, but it's really, really good. It's also good for your digestive system too. So you can have a little bit, if you have a little bit, you know, your food didn't agree with you, have a little bit of an upset stomach, just take a little piece of this and either chew on it, suck on it, whatever. However you want to have it, go for it. Yeah. So we're going to rethink this. I'm going to get another thing ready, and I'm going to pour this, like I said, let it dry. I'm going to wait for it to get hard, and then I'm going to chop it and put it in jars, because I won't be doing this again because it's too much and I'm too impatient. But you're more than welcome to try it. I also wanted to show you in another video, I make my own mocha mix. And this is, I like to do this for the holidays so that I can gift it to friends and family. I also gift this to my mail lady, people that come and collect the garbage, because it's always nice to recognize them, that no matter what, they still stop by, they still pick up your garbage, they deliver your mail, and it's very seldom that people take out the time to say thank you. So that's what I like to do.